This is Kathy Biehl of Empowermentunlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of August 6, 2018. Have you ever watched a cat when it's getting ready to pounce? Its front paws go down and its rear end comes up and it wiggles back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. A friend of mine calls that the kitty rumble, like it's building up energy, momentum, and then sees its prey, which you might not see, and pounces. We're all doing the kitty rumble this week and lots of other things. This is an insanely complicated active week. We are building up to the final eclipse of the summer, and a complex array of influences is turning our attention in basically every direction. Now, the past is getting an awful lot of that attention because we are at maximum retrorama this week. Uranus joins the pileup of planets that are retrograde, and he'll be traveling backward until January. So we've got Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, all backtracking over territory that we've already experienced. And enhancing that, accentuating that, is Mars, the ruler of our drive, how we push ourselves forward, hanging out at the South Node, which is the doorway to the past, the conditions and the behaviors that we're really moving away from. The gist of this on a personal level is repeated opportunities to revisit all different parts of your life, all over your timeline. Think about and reconnect with communities that used to be important to you. Think about friends. Go back and do over, rework things that you didn't quite complete. Maybe vent some anger that you didn't realize was in there. The importance of it all, in the long run, is your own inner journey. What you learn about yourself, what threads you pick up about yourself, and how you process and assimilate everything that you've been experiencing. And also, the next time we have just a Mercury retrograde, it is going to feel like a piece of cake compared to what this summer has been like. The intensity is palpable this week, but there's some very nice, beautiful, luscious stuff going on as well. Remember the kitty rumble. Something we want is in sight. Something we desire may run across our path, fall into our lap. Doesn't require effort. Probably involves getting along really well with people. It could bring a beautiful moment, a beautiful linkage in a relationship that you value. This peaks on Tuesday when Venus trines Mars. And it will also pressure for taking the situation really seriously, showing whether you value it or not. There is a big push to put structure onto whatever this beautiful development is. It might involve money or creativity as well, but my bet is relationships. Someone's going to want structure. Someone is going to want commitment. Distance or obligations might be involved that mean that you can't continue enjoying whatever the gorgeousness of Tuesday is, but you'll probably want to put a pin in it, or to quote Beyonce, put a ring on it. There's definitely a selectiveness underneath all of this, particularly with the overlapping retrogrades, an awareness of what you still value, what you want to have in your life at this point, what you don't have time for, what you're done with, what you want to relegate to the past. So we're kind of sorting through boxes, sifting through our baggage, and I don't mean so much emotional baggage as metaphoric, as carry-on luggage and what we're taking onto the airplane that we are boarding at the weekend. The noise level will be high. People will be talking. You might even have conversations on the phone and face-to-face. There's that much going on. And with the data flow, I encourage you to do two things. The first is make the effort to pinpoint the astrological symbolism that's going on, because it's walking around right in front of us. And here is an example from what is happening right now as I record this. I am a few houses away from a tiny pavilion that has been set up for a wedding ceremony. Venus trine Mars, Jupiter trining Neptune. On a cozy little lake, Jupiter trine Neptune, and the music, Jupiter trine Neptune, Venus in Libra, is an Elvis impersonator, Las Vegas era vintage, with karaoke music that sounds like a Vegas review, and the swagger and the moves and stance that the king used then. Retrograde Mercury, retrograde Mars at the South Node, in action, just down the street. So watch for this in your own life. I don't mean Elvis impersonators, although who knows, maybe this is presaging an epidemic of sightings. But look for the symbolism walking around in front of you. And secondly, allow yourself to wish, allow yourself to dream, and ask for what you want out loud. State it in ways that other people hear it, see it, comprehend it, because you might be really surprised how soon someone you know delivers exactly what you asked for. Another personal example. A friend showed me photographs of flamingo paddle boats that she had been on in Bristol, England. And I shared the photo on Facebook and said, I want these, I need these, who can get these for me? And within 5 minutes, my brother had found a 6-person flamingo inflatable party float, and it's on the way. Yes, I will have photos when it shows up. And here's a third thing for you to do. You might be noticing, I said there's an eclipse. Are we talking about the eclipse? Here we come. Look at the past 4 weeks as a continuum. You've been jolted, you've been closing things down, you've been having things closed down, you've been hit upside the head now and again this week. You've dropped your grasp on some things, you've said goodbye to some things. You have consciously sorted through quite a bit in your life and again, streamlined your priorities and gotten a very clear taste of what you need to do on a moment-by-moment basis to keep your life running smoothly in the long run. All of that leads into Saturday's solar eclipse in Leo, which shoots us forward into a radical expression of our core beings. The eclipses since last February 2017 have had as their underlying message self-actualization. Be yourself unapologetically. Gain comfort with yourself and allow that person to radiate out. And with retrograde Mercury squaring bigger is better Jupiter as we go into this eclipse, you will have no choice but to let your true self blaze out of you. And it's going to include parts of yourself that went undercover and have now come back up. This is a blast-off time. This is installing an upgrade to your computer and the system going down and it coming back up with different, newer programs. This is getting onto the plane with very deliberate luggage and a very deliberate choice of companion or companions. And even so, there is a huge wild card element, and it may have something to do with the middle of May. As this eclipse happens, Mars, the ruler of our drive, scooches out of Aquarius into Capricorn, and he activates the 1-2 punch that he had with volatile Uranus, the Awakener, on May 15 and 16. Something may come back up from then. You may not be able to see yet what the connection is between whatever this is hitting you in the head. It's like a cartoon character minding its own business and somebody hitting a golf ball and going bonk in its head and there are little stars and birds circling around. And when it comes to, it sees things differently. So yeah, we get a bit of that. But the real importance is valuing yourself, putting yourself first in a very healthy way, being yourself, committing to the activities, the goals, the talents, the people that enhance your sense of self, and dropping the rest. You have only so much energy, and you will find yourself spending it on yourself and on people who fan your spark, share your spark, grow brighter from your spark. The image of a candlelight Christmas service is a really good one for that. Homing thought of the week. It is as it is, I am as I am, and now is my time. Song of the week, I have two, Up, Up, and Away by the Fifth Dimension, and The Greatest Love by Whitney Houston. And the image of the week is ripping out rows that you have knitted in a scarf because you found a color and a style that you like better now. You'll find more about all this in my forecast for the Leo new moon solar eclipse, which is up at my site, Empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list, book a session with me, and order my Uranus in Taurus guide, which explains a lot of what is going on for the next 8 years. Talk to you next week.